Thank you, sir. Before I begin, please allow me to take opportunities to thank you, the Chairman and Ranking Member Rush, and committee members for conducting this hearing today, and allow me to come to testify you on this unique opportunity to clean up waste, preserve jobs, and actually make money for the government. Mr. Chairman and distinguished committee members, I am Jim Key, the Vice President of United Steelworkers, Local 550, at the Paducah Gaseous Diffusion Plant in Paducah, Kentucky. There are approximately 850,000 active members of the United Steelworkers International Union, and we are North America's largest industrial union. I represent approximately 1,000 members who are involved in uranium enrichment, environmental remediation, infrastructure, and depleted uranium conversion activities at Paducah site, which houses our nation's last U.S. government-owned operating uranium facility. I do not come before you today solely as a representative of the union hourly workers, but also as a representative for the non-union salaried workers at the facility, for the residents of the community for which I've been a part for the past 56 years, and the economic stability of the region as a whole. 1,200 workers are employed at the enrichment facility, which is scheduled to shut down after advanced technology comes on board. The wages of the workers at the facility turn over 6 to 7 times within our regional community, providing over $50 million annually for the economy, which has a direct effect on the viability of local businesses. Services and goods purchased by our combined workforce allow business to not only operate, but also to thrive and provide the tax base of the community as a whole. Our region has recently been devastated by the shutdown of major industrial employers in the past 5 years. It started with the loss of the General Tire plant, and it has accelerated with the most recent announcement of the closing of the Goodyear Tire plant in Union City, Tennessee, very close to western Kentucky, where additional 1,600 family and community supportive jobs will disappear at the end of 2011. I'm sure in an area of high employment, you can fully realize the impact of additional loss of 1,200 highly skilled employees at the gaseous diffusion plant and a devastating rippling effect it would have on our regional area. In order to keep these 1,200 jobs in Paducah, many of us have been suggesting to the Department of Energy start a program to re-enrich the 62,000 depleted uranium tail cylinders stored at Paducah and Portsmouth. Until a few years ago, these cylinders were considered a waste byproduct of the enrichment process and an environmental liability to our government and our community. As a matter of history, Public Laws 105-204 and 106-206 were championed by Senator Mitch McConnell and enacted by Congress to build facilities to convert these tails to a more stable substance, which proves that these tails were then considered a liability to the government. DOE has a unique opportunity to re-enrich tails left over from the former enrichment plant operations into commercially valuable natural uranium that can be sold to generate new revenue for the federal government. At the same time, the program will be a significant factor in extending operations at the sole remaining plant in Paducah. The proposed program requires no appropriations. It is self-funded, and that a portion of the natural uranium feed generated will be sold to pay for the enrichment. This program is remarkable in that it actually raises revenue for the federal government through the sale of the enriched uranium. This program would utilize all the resources of the Paducah plant while it's still operational. Once the plant shuts down, re-enriching tails becomes significantly more expensive for the government because of transportation costs, and the benefit of the program is greatly reduced. This issue is critically important to the members of United Steelworkers Local 550, and that it provides the best opportunity to extend our production jobs at the Paducah plant at a time when manufacturing employment is at record lows and the regional economy is still sputtering to recover from the nationwide recession, as shown in the latest jobs report. There's also good reason to believe that the loss of the second largest industrial customer will lead the Tennessee Valley Authority to act on its plan to begin closing its electrical power plant near the plant where I work, causing further job losses of good jobs in a region that desperately needs them. After hearing about such a productive program, I'm sure you're asking yourself, why are we not implementing this program? To answer that, we actually think DOE could do this without legislation, but because of DOE inaction on this issue over the past several years, I believe legislation is now warranted. While DOE currently has a self-imposed policy, which only allows it to introduce enriched uranium into the market at 10% of the domestic uranium demand, we believe that this quota is not conducive to allow domestic uranium enrichment processes and programs to reach their full potential and value. At current market value, a return between $230 and $500 million per year can be realized with the implementation of the pilot tails re-enrichment program we are discussing today. Finally, there comes the issue of right and wrong. When the United States needed a reliable supply of enriched uranium for its weapons programs, it turned to Paducah and other nuclear sites around the country for help. They found strong communities and good people who were proud to assume that responsibility in spite of the hazards that came with it. For nearly 60 years, this community has been home to millions of tons of DOE's waste tails, and now that the tails are recognized to have value, Paducah, the region, and the plant employees should be the ones to benefit. To even consider shipping these tails away from Paducah to another facility is simply wrong. The highly trained sons and daughters of those original enrichment facility employees continue working hard to provide a safe operating facility at outstanding production levels, providing a reliable, vital service at the Paducah plant, and they deserve the chance to protect their jobs and the regional communities in which they live by re-enriching these tails. This is not a government handout, and it will not cost the government or taxpayers 1 cent. To the contrary, the government will make money. How many bills will you vote on this session that can make that claim? This is a case of the government making a sound policy and economic decision to utilize an important national resource for the benefit of the entire country. In closing, I ask you fully endorse and support H.R. 2054, authored and introduced by Chairman Whitfield, for its successful passage in the House of Representatives and concurrent support by you with your counterparts and colleagues in the Senate. This concludes my opening statement. I'll be happy to answer any questions committee members may have.